Morning, Aisa. Time to make coffee. Morning, Anya. How's it going? Hey, Avery. Why? What was right, Jennifer? Struggling to close the... I'm almost out of this. I need to buy more. I need to buy more. What's up, friends? Looks like it's another chilly day, but it is farmers market day, so hopefully it will warm up just a smidge. I would appreciate it if it would warm up just a smidge. Come on, serve the coffee. You're right, exactly. Come on, little buddy, serve the coffee. Hey guys, I see you all. Good morning, everybody. Can you put today's book club on YouTube? I don't know how. Yes, I will. Today I have more time to do some uploads. I have to upload the last 2 of the last book and the first 2 of this book today. I will do that for you all, no problem. We also have a live around maybe like 1-ish, maybe 12:31, where I will do grab bag polls on the other account. That'll be fun for anyone who got those. Yeah, it's a whole kit and caboodle. That is the whole kit and caboodle. I tried to spin that like on the word caboodle, like it was going to be really cool, and I'm sure you all noticed that didn't work out. So it's going great. Thumbs up for Sasha. This is why I have to have my coffee in the morning. Nothing goes right until I have my coffee. I was like, yeah, bleh, and it barely spun. It was cool for me. It's really exciting. What was I going to say? I was going to say it was difficult, the colors. We need to get Ray in here because I know that she wanted a recap of what happened yesterday. I will wait a few minutes. Obviously, I don't start until I go sit down and everything, but I'll wait a few minutes and hopefully she'll get in here so I can recap yesterday for her before we start. And then we will read, obviously, like we do, because that is what we do here. We read. We read the books, we learn the things, we have a great time. It was super cool. Did I tell you guys that my sister-in-law had her baby? I don't know if I told you guys that. My sister-in-law, the reason I thought of it is because she bought this for me for Christmas. The grab bag fulls are fun to watch. I also really enjoy the sound of the little... she had her baby. Me too, Avery, me too. The baby was huge. Huge baby. Humongous. Does anyone want to guess how big this baby was? So she had her baby girl, and I spilled the coffee. Keep going, keep going. I'm seeing 10, I'm seeing 10.38. No, Anya, that's totally normal. Not 9, no. Okay, Jackie went a little too high, but not by much. And Renee's closest so far. The baby was 11.6 pounds and 22 inches. That's right, Jennifer. Jennifer got it, 11.6. Yeah, I know. She had her naturally at home with no medicine. Naturally at home in a tub with no medicine. I'm gonna repeat that for you one more time. An 11.6 pound baby naturally at home with no medicine. What? 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 Crazy. Right, Amanda? I was talking to my mom about it because obviously my mother, being my mother, has given birth to 3 children, myself and my 2 siblings, but she's also an OBGYN, so she also delivered a lot of babies in her time. And I told her about what happened with my sister-in-law, and she said, you couldn't pay me to do that. And I was like, I know. Is she okay? She's fine. She's fine. They said Preston would have been 11 if he was born. He weighed 6.2. Wow. Yeah, he probably would have been. My brother was born early, and he was 9'3", and he was 4 weeks early. So you can imagine what he would have been like if he had been born on time. Good Lord. My sister-in-law's got bigger with each baby. Yours was just, no, her babies have all been big, so they're kind of just getting bigger with each one. You're right, Renee. Her babies have all gotten bigger. She has 3. And they've all been big. They've all been big babies. So I guess that's just what happens in their family. No, this was not her first baby. No, this is her 3rd. Yeah, no, this is her 3rd baby. Yeah. Anymore, and they'll just be exactly. I mean, Priscilla, that's not like you're saying it and you're being funny, obviously, but like kinda, right? Because so my brother-in-law, he posted something and he said she does not fit in newborn diapers, nor does she fit in newborn onesies. She had to go straight to 3-month clothes at birth. It's pretty. Oh, she's definitely Superwoman for sure. Man, I was like, I mean, hats off to you and your abilities and yada yada. 3-month, yeah, she fits in 3-month clothes. She does not fit in the foam of the coffee is phenomenal, right? How amazing is that? Came out perfectly. My husband and I said that if we had kids, they would be toddlers at birth. Are they really, Priscilla? Really? You know what? Secret Husband's family's not that big. Thank goodness they aren't too small. They're not too small at all. No, she doesn't mind, clearly, Nikki. I mean, like, she knew her babies were going to be big. Yeah, they were. I mean, of course, Sloth a little bit. Hey, Becca. So she definitely has a good attitude about it, Nikki. I mean, she had 2 that were already big. She knew this one was probably going to be big, and she was 5 days late. So she was like, well, it's going to be what it's going to be. I mean, right? Kind of. And she's got a great attitude about it. She loves being a mom. She loves having tons of kids. So, and she keeps having them at home with no pain medication. So it's obviously her thing, and she's obviously good at it. Yeah, she's very tough. Yeah. She just keeps, yeah, she was born huge, Becca, 11.6. 11.6 and 22 inches. Yeah. I did 3 of my births with no meds, but I had 2 C-sections. I didn't have time for pain meds. Ooh. Her first baby was a C-section, not by choice. She had the cord wrapped around her neck, so they took her out that way. But her second baby, she did have naturally at home. Only 2 hours. Really, Amanda? That's pretty impressive. Yeah, it is pretty amazing. 2 hours is pretty short, right? I actually don't know how long her labor was. The baby was born at 5 o'clock in the evening, but they didn't tell us when she went into labor. So she lives in Florida, so we don't really know. Becca, how long were your labors? Did you have to have a C-section with the trips? Hey, Ray, we were waiting for you so we can give you a recap. We were hanging out talking about my new niece who was just born. C-sections were not my choice. Yeah, no, neither was the one was hers. She didn't want it, but I mean, she was like, well, safety first, of course, of the baby. And because the cord was wrapped around the baby's neck, she made the choice to do that one time. But the other times she didn't want to. Yeah, I think most people probably wouldn't choose that. The trips were C-section because of reason, right? That's what I figured. I figured you kind of have to, right? Because there's so many of them. That's just a lot of baby. There's just so many babies. How big were the trips when they were born? Were they teeny tiny? I know some people have multiples do that. Well, she was doing it with a midwife because remember she did it at home, right? So it's kind of like it didn't matter in a weird way. Nope, you didn't miss the reading. No, we haven't started yet. We were just chit-chatting. I wasn't going to risk it because the 3rd placenta can disconnect in the baby. Yeah, no, you don't want to deal with that. Nope. Don't want to deal with that. Okay, so I'm going to do a real quick recap of yesterday. Me too, Amanda. Oh my God, I could never. I'm going to do, my sister and I have talked about that when she was pregnant with Ethan. She was like, you couldn't pay me to do this at home. I don't trust it. And I was like, yeah, no, that's okay, so we're going to do a real quick recap for anyone who missed yesterday. Stranger Than Fan Fiction starts at a convention for this very popular show called Whiz Kids. And there are 3 stars of the show, Whiz Kids, and it appears that the creator of the show originally wrote it to be a star vehicle for himself, but they recast, yeah, those were pretty good sizes for triplets. They recast the lead member because they thought he was too old. Nope, no, I have not, Roxy. So it starts at this convention, and the lead guy's like popping pills and drinking some stuff in the bathroom or whatever to like steel himself before he has to go out on stage, and then they do an intervention. And apparently over the last couple months he's just gone wild. Max was 7 and 12. That's totally normal though, Becca. That's a very normal baby amount. I was 6.5, you know. And so they did a little intervention and then set them on stage, and he, in his like inner monologue, is basically saying like the fans and the cast and crew don't know that he's not doing the next season, and we don't know why. He just says like once the secret comes out, whatever it is. And apparently he's been like self-medicating to like tamper down whatever's going on in his head. So that's kind of what happened yesterday. Yeah, so that's where we're at. Hey, Tiffany. You know what's really weird? Oh, you're very welcome, right? On this account, sometimes like when Tiffany just joined, it's showing me Becca's icon as Tiffany's, which I know is not correct because I know that that's Becca's icon. It did the same thing yesterday with someone else. Cringes in So Glad I Didn't Have to. Yeah, you got a kid without having to go through any of that, right? She was like, Renee's like, I got this. Guess what? My baby, I don't really know. I mean, I know you know, but I don't know how he was born, but he just came to you. Okay, and Sasha got a warning after he took some stuff in the, oh yes, I got a warning after he self-medicated in the bathroom, and then I got a warning, and our live was restricted for adults only because of the use of Mary Jane, I'll say that, yes. And what I said in response to that was, yes, me reading this book is definitely the dangerous stuff here on TikTok. I am the dangerous live here on TikTok. Me, yes, in my pink loungy suit that my sister-in-law gave me. I am the danger. Okay, but I can't afford that way. Yeah, not for triplets anyway. No. I gotta tell you guys, this lounge suit is quite comfortable. I don't know. She bought it for me for Christmas. It was in like a box of a whole bunch of stuff. It was great. I finally uninstalled and reinstalled the Patreon app, and my notifications are back. That is a good tip. That's a good tip. It is extremely comfortable and very warm. All right, so let's read chapter 2. A Summer to Remember. The excitement of WizCon stretched far beyond the crowded halls of the Santa Clarita Convention Center. All corners of the world, fans meticulously scanned their internet for any glimpse of panels, exhibits, and homemade costumes inside the convention center. The Wizards' collective efforts put the investigative teams of the FBI and the CIA to shame. In Downers Grove, an Illinois suburb 20 miles outside Chicago, recent high school graduate Topher Collins was glued to his laptop as if it were a dialysis. He scanned through the depths of social media and ogled complete strangers' candid photos like a cyberstalker. He kept browsers open to every nerdy... restriction. What do you think did it this time, friends? What do you think I said that restricted us today? What could it be? Who's to say? Was it cyberstalking? Is that the word? Dialysis. Dialysis. It's a medical procedure. Yeah, I said 11.6 pregnancy and TikTok broke. That's funny. That's funny. Hey, Lori. Hey, Lori. Oh, God. That's funny. Downers Grove. It's so ridiculous. Some of the hate that people spew on this app, and this is what they want to censor. I mean, really, I think they need to reevaluate what they're censoring. There are people out here spewing like the most wild hatred that you could imagine, and yet this book is what we're going to censor. Okay, TikTok, you're right. They're targeting you. Don't worry about it. They do to other creators too. He gets one every. It's so weird. It's so weird. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Well, I said Topher and TikTok said too grown. Every live. It's so weird. All right. Well, we're going to keep going anyway. He kept browsers open to every nerdy blog covering the convention and refreshed the pages every 20 seconds for the latest and greatest. His inbox chimed continuously like a toddler playing with a reception bell as Google alerts pointed him in the direction for more WizCon fixes. Topher was very tall, hunched over his desk like an adult at a kid's table. He could have easily been a basketball player if it wasn't for his absolute lack of athletic ability. Newborn giraffes were more coordinated than he was. Instead, Topher had been gifted with the brilliant mind and proudly displayed his valedictorian medal over the corner of the most prized possession in his bedroom, a framed Season 6 poster of WizKids, signed by the cast. He refreshed a blog called The Nerd Herder and was mesmerized by a new photo from the convention. A voluptuous blonde woman was dressed as the Nordic alien queen from season 5. She had hand-glued individual sequins onto her skin to create the character's infamous tight jumpsuit. She left very little to the imagination, and Topher's hormones were drawn to her like a paperclip to a magnet. His face was so close to his laptop that he could see the pixels of his screen. I'd rather watch you in a restricted live than a lot of the non-restricted stuff. I mean, amen to that. That's what I'm saying. Like, some of the non-restricted stuff on here, you're like, are you guys okay? Suddenly, a video message appeared on the screen and it almost gave Topher a heart attack. His friend Joey Davis was calling from his own bedroom just a few blocks away. Hey man, Joey said, did I scare you? Joey was black, super handsome, and unlike Topher, very coordinated. He had been the captain of the hip-hop dance team since freshman year, and the lead in every school play and musical. He had recently been voted prom king. He was well-liked by everyone who knew him, and he always left the people he encountered with a smile. And as far as Topher knew, being a devoted wizard was the closest that Joey had to a flaw. Dude, have you seen the girl in the Nordic Queen costume at the convention? Topher asked. Total MILF. I'm gonna send you the link. Topher passed the link along, and Joey had a look for himself and let out a snort. Bro, you might want to read the caption before you rub one out. He laughed. Topher quickly read the credits under the photo. Timothy? He said in shock. That's a man? Oh no, I was recreating the French independent film scenes with him in my mind. Yeah, well, I'm sure that Tim would be flattered. Obviously, he put a lot of effort into this look, Joey said, and then scrolled through the rest of the blog. Man, what do most of these people do for a living? And how can they afford these costumes? I swear, the fans have better production value than the actual show. Okay, let's pause for a second. I agree. What do people who have hobbies like this do for a living? I have to know, because sometimes I look at the things that these people make here on TikTok, on Instagram, or whatever, and I'm like, how do you afford that? How? IT, they work in IT. She's right, she's probably right. Yeah, I know, right? Topher said. I saw a man dressed as a cyborg with an actual plasma screen attached to his body. It makes the android costumes that we wore to WizCon 2015 look like crap, Joey said, and we spent hours putting those together. I still have scars from the hot glue gun. Another video message appeared on both of their computers. This time it was Sam Gibson calling from her bedroom on the other side of town. Sam was petite, pretty without any makeup, and had very short, dark hair. She was still wearing her yellow uniform and hat from her summer job at Yellow Froyo. I literally just ran all the way home from work, Sam panted. I tried looking at the blogs on my break, but I couldn't get any reception. What have I missed? Have any spoilers for season 10 come out? No, nothing too crazy yet, just some photos of the costumes and the exhibits, Topher said. Kylie Trigg hasn't even posted her recap of the panel yet. She's been taking her sweet ass time ever since she hit 10 million subscribers, Sam said. What time is she supposed to post it? Her tweet said around 5 o'clock California time, and it's already 10 past 7 here, so it should be up any minute now, Joey said. Have any of the videos from any of the panels leaked yet? They're usually a bunch by now, Sam asked as she rummaged through the internet to catch up with the others. Just a couple, but everyone's screaming so loud and shaking it's really hard to hear or see anything, Topher said. You'd think that it was footage from a Bieber concert or like a natural disaster. Same difference, Joey quipped. Sam shook her hands and shimmied in her seat, experiencing a personal earthquake of her own. I can't wait, she said. They better give us some clues as to what to expect. I haven't been able to sleep since the season finale. Why did they have to end it with Dr. Bumfuzzle trapped in that reptinoid nest in Kepler 186 and Dr. Peachtree in the courtroom of the Salem witch trials? That was like some Hollywood sadistic shit. A third video message popped up on their screens, and Mariko Ishikawa, or Mo as they called her since elementary school, was scowling into her camera with her arms folded. She was unusually bursting with She was usually bursting with a bubbly energy, but at the moment, Mo was frozen with dissatisfaction. Excuse me, it's been 3 days since I posted chapter 4 of my Whiz Kids fan fiction novel, and yet none of you jerks have commented on it, she said. Topher, Joey, and Sam looked into their cameras, very guilty. Even though Mo had reminded them twice an hour since it was published, they all had managed to forget. Sorry, Mo, I've been serving cold, sugary, fermented milk to upper-class families all week, Sam said. I promise I'll read it tonight before bed. Yeah, I've been busy with Billy, Topher said, referring to his younger brother, but I'll check it out later. And I'm not going anywhere near fan fiction, Joey said unapologetically. It terrifies me, especially yours. The last story you wrote scarred me for life. I didn't know that there were so many adjectives to describe Toby Ramos's pubes. I never said that you had to read it, Mo said. Just go on there and leave a comment. The more comments I get, the more wizards will be interested. I'm trying to start a following here. Throw the Asian girl a bone, will you? Okay. Joey laughed. Calm down. I'll go right now and I'll make something up. What's the novel about anyway? Mo tucked her hair behind her ear and sat up in her seat as if she was describing her work on a morning talk show. It's a story that explores Peach Fuzzle's sexual awakening, she described, written in the style of Nicholas Sparks. The novel opens with Dr. Bumfuzzle and Dr. Peachtree traveling through the Andromeda Galaxy when suddenly there's a crash on the planet with where physical contact is forbidden. And at first, they submit to the laws of the alien world with very little resistance. However, the longer that they are marooned, the more the undeniable attraction grows between them. Tension rises with every passing hour, and an animalistic desire consumes them. Soon the temptation is too much to bear. They confess their undying love for one another using the language that only their bodies can speak. Chris has fans down to a science. He knows. He knows too much. I have to send this to my sister. My sister ravages fan fiction like a crazy person. She's gonna love this. Jesus Christ, Mo, Topher laughed. You need to take a cold shower. That sounds exactly like your last story, Sam pointed out. Is Peach Fuzzle all you ever think about? You know, it sends subliminal degrading messages to women, right? The writer swiveled her head and rolled her eyes. Her frustration was so evident. It didn't matter how many times she explained herself. Her friends never understood her work. That's right, Jen. That's exactly what he's saying. I'm not actually writing about Peach Fuzzle. I'm just using them to gain an audience, she said. As soon as I get a book deal, I'll change the names and the locations so I don't get sued, and boom, I will have my own franchise. Laugh at me all you want. I'm sure that people laughed at E.L. James too, but look where writing fan fiction got her. All right, I just left a comment on chapter 4, Joey said. Awesome, you're the best. Thank you, Joey. Mo happily checked her comment box, but did a dramatic double take when she read his post. All you put was nice adjectives. Is that all you could come up with? Hey, you're the writer, Joey said. Why don't you write your own reviews and then have us post them? Mo was initially repulsed by the idea, but the more she thought about it, the more that his proposal intrigued her.
That's actually genius, she said. Normally I'd be turned off by something so dishonest, but fanfiction is like the freaking Hunger Games. Only the cunning can survive. Check your email tonight, and I will send you guys comments to post later. The other three were curious and fearful about the words that Mo was going to put in their mouths, but they were happy to support one another, even in the unsettling realm of fanfiction. Topher, Joey, Sam, and Mo couldn't have been more different, but they had been best friends since the 5th grade. It all started on the playground of Shyster? Really, Chris? Really? That's what we're going with? We're going with Shyster for their elementary. He's trying to kill me here, you guys. He wants me to have trouble reading. He wants me to trip up. I'm sure he's read it all, Anya. Shyster Elementary School in 2010 when they all dressed as Dr. Bumfuzzle for Halloween. It was a magical moment for 5th graders, like when Tony spots Maria across the dance floor in West Side Story. Prior to that, making friends and fitting in at school had not been any of their strong suits, so finding other kids who were infatuated with the same television show was a remarkable discovery. It was the beginning of an unbreakable bond and the greatest joy of their lives. For the past 7 years, every Wednesday at 8 o'clock, like an unlikely quartet, they would meet up at a predetermined location and watch the newest episode of Whiz Kids together. They spent the following week stressing about the plot, overanalyzing beat by beat, and making predictions of what the next episode had in store. The routine repeated week after week, month after month, until the season finale put them out of their misery, unless the season ended on a torturous cliffhanger, and then there would be chaos until the show returned. Their enthusiasm for such outlandish programming was questioned and ridiculed by everyone they knew. But to them, Whiz Kids was so much more than just a trivial television show. It was their first memory of true excitement and gave their childhoods a purpose. It took them on an otherworldly and educational adventure, showing them the world beyond the dull streets of Downers Grove. Most important, it was their first experience of camaraderie, and it gave them a sense of belonging that they had never known before. The show was the cornerstone and driving force of their friendship, and they hoped that it would continue for many years to come. Chris really knows how to write found family in a way that other authors can't grasp. I'm rooting for them, you know what I mean? Because he I'm like, they're cute, it's sweet, I love it. And I'm not even in fandoms like this. It's so good. I don't know, I love what he does. He manages to make you interested in whatever is going on. I don't even care what it is, I'll read it. And Whiz Kids hadn't just introduced Topher, Joey, Sam, and Mo to one another, but also to passionate wizards from all around the world. A 4th video message appeared on their computers, and their e-friend, Davi, 13-year-old boy from Macapa, Brazil, popped up. He was thin, had light brown skin, and had wide eyes like a doe. They could see the moonlit waves of the Brazilian coast in the distance behind him. "Hey, Davi," everyone said together. "Hola, factards," Davi said. His use of American slang was a work in progress. "Happy WizCon Day. Sorry it took me so long to join you. The Cider Cafe is busy as tits tonight." What episode is airing in Brazil? Sam asked. "Has Dr. Bumfuzzle gotten to Kepler 186 yet?" "No, he and Professor Luckknuckle are still fighting with the Nazis and General Patton," Davi said. "Are they going into space soon? I sure shitting hope so. All this American history is too hard to follow." "Oh, just you wait," Sam teased. "The season 9 cliffhanger is going to blow your mind." Topher's email chimed with a notification from YouTube. "Guys, Kylie Trigg just posted her recap." Topher announced, "Let's go to YouTube and watch it together. We'll press play on the count of 3. "No, we have to wait for Huda," Mo interjected. "She'll be devastated if we watch this without her." "It's 3 o'clock in the morning over there," Joey said. "She's probably asleep." As if Huda had just been waiting for an introduction, she appeared in the 5th window on their screens. Huda was a 15-year-old Muslim girl from Saudi Arabia. She had a round face, big cheeks, and adorable dimples. Even though she lived on the other side of the world, Huda's knowledge of American pop culture and Hollywood gossip always impressed everyone. If it was a headline, Huda knew about it. "Please tell me that you haven't watched Kylie's recap without me," she said, inches away from her webcam. "Hey, Huda," Topher said. "Perfect timing. We were just about to go to YouTube and watch it together." "Wait," Huda objected. "They censor my shit over here. I don't get YouTube. Can't you play it on your iPad and hold it up to your camera for the rest of us? Please? Pretty please?" "Yeah, works for me," Topher said, and he loaded the video on his iPad. Huda, if everything is so censored, how did you even know that the video had been posted? Joey asked. Huda looked around her home to make sure that no one was listening. The Wizard's anti-censorship train, she whispered. Whenever something notable happens in the WizKid fandom, the Wizards in Mexico message the Wizards in Puerto Rico, who message the Wizards in Cuba, who message the Wizards in Japan, who message the Wizards in China, who message the Wizards in Russia, who message the Wizards in Turkey, who message the Wizards throughout the countries in the Middle East like me in Saudi Arabia. It's a complex system and it took years to perfect it, but we knocked through those firewalls like Jenga. The others were very impressed by the covert operation and the proficient system that had been set up in the Wizards community, but they weren't exactly surprised. It was a testimony to the official slogan of the WizKid viewership, where there's a wizard, there's a way. That is incredible, Huda, Mo said. If only diplomacy worked as efficiently as fandom, there would literally never be war again. Kylie's video is loaded, Topher said. Should I play it? Yes! Everyone shouted and leaned closer to their computers. Topher pressed play and held his iPad up to the computer's camera for the others to see. The video had only been up for 3 minutes and already had over 4 million views. They impatiently sat through a 15-second ad for an energy drink called Cherry Insulin, followed by a 30-second long intro to all of Kylie Triggs' videos in which she sang an obnoxious theme song and hit a tambourine to the offbeat music. Question. Do we think that like Chris has an obsession with tambourines, or like what's going on here? Is like the tambourine his favorite instrument, or like, because never in all my life have I read so many books in a row where tambourines were mentioned. Never ever. Finally, fresh footage appeared of Kylie lounging on a tufted chaise in the presidential suite of her Santa Clara hotel. What's up, Wizards? Kylie said. Welcome to another episode of Trig Talk with Kylie Trigg. How am I doing, you ask? Not too shabby. I just got back from the cast and creative panel at WizCon 2017. It is. It's totally his version of more cowbell. No biggie, we've got more to dish and dissect than a marine biologist. But first, let me answer the question of most of my subscribers want to know. Cash Carter confirmed that the next season of WizKids Peach Fuzzle is back on, motherfuckers! Kylie shook a maraca and twirled her leg above her head like she was a human helicopter. Mo and Huda squealed so loud that they almost blew out Topher's speakers. Here are all the deets that all y'all wizard bitches need to know from the rest of the panel, Kylie continued. First, let's talk about the cast. Toby Ramos is looking buff AF. I would totally tap that if I wasn't afraid that he would crush me. Memo to Amy Evans, if you're gonna take a selfie on stage, make sure to include the audience so we can like tag ourselves later. It's called manners. Cash Carter is rocking a Robert Pattinson too hungover to care look these days, but honestly, he can't pull it off. By the way, he was totes flirting with me when I asked him about Peach Fuzzle. Not that I'm surprised. It happens every year. Are Target glue sticks equal to Elmer's, or is it Crazy Art versus... Ooh, that's a good question. I don't know the answer to that one, Better. Okay, let's... God, can she get to season 10 details, you overrated stalker? Sam yelled on behalf of everyone in the fandom. I don't mean to Franken beans, but I was by far the best moderator at the panel, Kylie went on. They paired me up with like old prostate McGee from The Hollywood Reporter and Jennifer Who Gives an F from Entertainment Weekly. She had the audacity to call out Cash Carter on his recent benders in Hollywood. I know we've all been concerned about it, but I personally hosted a candlelight visual on the matter in my last video, and there are certain things you just don't bring up at WizCon. Anyway, shit got real uncomfortable with that. Luckily, the has-been or Zimmer put out the flames. Now, let's get to what we finally learned about season 10. Finally, Joey said. The cast confirmed that the show will stay on the air as long as we watch it, so we can all just chill the F out about that. And I'm talking to you, Wizard James 97. Kylie said. However, Professor Luckanuckle will be absent for 3 episodes in the fall because Toby Ramos is still committed to the Mothman reshoots. Apparently, Warner Brothers already knew that the movie was going to need them. So if you don't like the storyline on Kepler 186, that's just too damn bad. The Reptoids are sticking around until the middle of season 10. The Reptoids are back? No fucking way, Davi said and wrapped his arms around his head. The season finale twist I was telling you about, Sam said. Don't talk about the season finale, Huda begged. The Wizards and Turkey haven't sent it to me yet. Okay, so Has-Been Zimmer also said that there will be 3 surprise guest stars in season 10, Kylie said. He wouldn't say who, but he gave these hints. One has an Oscar, one has a Grammy, and one has a sex tape. He also promised the fans that he would not write another role for himself or force another Who's the Parent reunion down our throats. Episode 907 was just as painful for him as it was for us. And I'm paraphrasing, of course, here. Well, that's all the info I've got for you today. All right, Wizards, stay tuned tomorrow for my recap of the Wiz Kids post-production panel. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel yet, well, just end yourself. Peace! I know, right? She's way harsh. Kylie's video concluded with another 30 seconds of her obnoxious self-performed theme song, but thankfully Topher clicked his iPad off before it finished. All the people on his computer went quiet and motionless as they processed the information that Kylie had revealed. Once it was all absorbed, they erupted in contagious spurts of exhilaration, like cheap fireworks setting each other off. That was awesome, Joey said. I wonder how they're going to write Professor Luckknuckle off for 3 episodes. Or who the 3 surprise guests are going to be, Sam said. I cannot believe that we have to wait 81 days until the next season, Mo said. That's practically an entire pregnancy. Girl, please, Huda said. That's a wink compared to how long I have to wait. We'll be lucky if I'm caught up with season 9 by then. But reptoids? Dobby asked. She's stuck on the top. He was still stuck on the topic. Are they dusting my balls? I hate the reptoids. Topher was just as eager about the things as his friends were pointing out, but they were overlooking the best news to come out of WizCon 2017. Well, I'm just happy they confirmed that the show is sticking around, Topher said. We're kind of counting on it. With graduation in their rearview mirrors, Topher, Joey, Sam, and Mo would soon be splitting up to attend different colleges in the fall. Topher was staying in Downers Grove for community college. Joey was going off to Oklahoma Baptist University for performing arts. Sam was headed to the Rhode Island School of Design to study interior design, and Mo would be studying at Stanford to major in economics. Regardless of their new locations, they were still very committed to their Wednesday night WizKid rituals. They would just be doing it over the internet. Now, with the certainty of WizKids would continue through their college years, the pending goodbye was a lot easier to swallow. Since their time together was limited, Topher, Joey, Sam, and Mo had big plans to make the best of it. Are you guys excited for your road trip? Huda asked. You're leaving tomorrow, right? You guys didn't tell me you're going on road trip, Dobby said. Well, we didn't want to brag about it, but it is going to be a lot of fun, Joey said. Our parents helped pay for it as graduation gifts to us. Speak for yourself, Sam corrected him. I had to get a summer job to pay for my quarter of the cost. Yeah, Topher planned the whole thing, Mo added. His mom's even letting us borrow her station wagon. Where are you guys going? How long will you be gone for? Tell me everything, Dobby said. Topher rubbed his hands together as he informed their e-friends of their exciting itinerary. He looked like a criminal mastermind reciting his plan for world domination. Well, we'll be gone for 2 weeks, he said. We're driving from Illinois to California. The first 5 days we'll be on the road, checking out the roadside attractions, historical landmarks, big national parks, and we're going to see the world's biggest rubber band ball, the St. Louis Gateway Arch, Lewis and Clark Museum, the Mark Twain National Forest, the Bundy and Claire Jailhouse, the UFO Observation Tower, Dino World, the Petrified Forest, the Arizona Meteor Crater, the Grand Canyon, and then finally, the Santa Monica Pier. We'll be in Santa Monica for 4 days so that we can explore Los Angeles, hang out in Hollywoods, and take an exclusive tour of the WizKids set at the Sunshine Studios lot. You have got to be fondling me, Dobby exclaimed. I am so jealous, Huda said. Yeah, we wish you guys could come with us, Sam said. Mo suddenly let out a quick screech and everyone jumped. Topher's thorough description had reminded her of something very important that she needed to do before the trip. Mo, are you okay? Joey asked. Did someone leave a nasty comment on your fan fiction? No, I just realized that I haven't even packed yet, Mo said. Oh, crap. Me either, Joey said. I've got to sign off and do some laundry. What time are we supposed to meet up in the morning? 10 o'clock sharp, Topher said, and we've got to be prompt so that everything else in the schedule, I know, right, Becca, is going to time out. Aye, aye, Captain, Joey said with a salute. See you guys in the morning. Bye, Huda. Bye, Dobby, Mo said and blew them each kisses. Mo and Joey disappeared from their friends' computer screens. Dobby and Huda's time zones were starting to get the best of them, and they both yawned like newborn puppies. I have to say goodnight too, Davi said. It's late as douchebags here in the cyber cafe is about to close. It's too funny for me. I can't take it. Yeah, I'm gonna take a nap before breakfast, Huda said. Have fun on your trip, you guys. Post pictures as you go. I'll have my contact in Turkey. Keep an eye out for them. The wizards from abroad signed off, and Topher and Sam were the only two left. They were usually the last two on their computers, and sometimes they continued their conversation until the wee hours of the morning. Topher had nothing against Joey and Mo, but he always looked forward to his alone time with Sam. What a night, she said. I'm so overstimulated, I doubt I'll be able to sleep much. Don't worry, I'm taking the first driving shift tomorrow, Topher said. You can sleep in the car if you really need to. Although he would never admit it, Topher had been crushing on Sam since 8th grade. He had been in denial about it for 5 years and was constantly fighting off his feelings like they were the symptoms of an oncoming cold. But nothing could cure him of Sam. There was something about her that was different from all other girls that Topher had ever known. It was something familiar that made her so easy to talk to and fun to be around. He was convinced that there was no one else on earth like her. There were many times that Topher had suspected Sam might feel the same way about him, but Sam was a tough egg to crack. As close as they were, Sam had always been a very guarded person, but perhaps that's what Topher found most intriguing about her. Sam was a mystery waiting to be solved. I'm so excited about our trip, she said, but it's kind of bittersweet, you know? Like in a couple months, we're gonna be so far away from each other. Each time I try to wrap my head around it, I just get so depressed. Yeah, I know exactly how you feel, Topher said. Look at it this way. Our band isn't breaking up. We're just going on sabbatical until our inevitable comeback. Sam gave him a sweet smile, and Topher melted inside. Yeah, I like that, she said. Our road trip isn't our final tour. It's just to tide us over until the next adventure. Thanks again for taking the time to plan it, Topher. It really means the world to us. Don't mention it, Topher said. It'll be a summer to remember. You got that right, Sam said. Well, I'm gonna try and get some rest. Good night. I'll see you tomorrow. Night, Sam. She signed off, and the only thing left on Topher's blank computer screen was his own reflection staring back at him. For the first time, a profound loneliness began to fill the pit of his stomach. He was the only one among his friends staying in Downers Grove for college. The upcoming farewell was more harrowing for Topher. The others got to move in a way that he didn't, and he was like a bird still stuck in the nest. Staying in Downers Grove hadn't been Topher's first choice. He had applied and been accepted to MIT and had been looking forward to attending the prestigious school in the fall. Being in Massachusetts also meant that he would be close to Sam in Rhode Island, which really sweetened the deal. But unfortunately, life had other plans. There was a soft knock at the door. Come in, he said. Topher's mother, Shelley Collins, stepped inside his bedroom. She was already dressed for her night shift at the hotel she worked at in Chicago. Hey, she said, I hope I'm not interrupting WizFest. Mom, for the 100th time, it's WizCon, Topher said, and we just finished. Oh, sorry, WizCon, Shelley said. Well, I'm headed to work. Billy's already asleep downstairs, so you don't need to worry about putting him to bed. Topher's 12-year-old brother had cerebral palsy and had been confined to a wheelchair for most of his life. Even though he had limited speech and needed assistance eating, bathing, dressing, and using the restroom, disabled and handicapped were words that Topher would never use to describe his brother. Billy was the happiest and most loving child that Topher had ever met. He laughed and smiled at every opportunity he could, even if there was nothing to laugh or smile about. It was like Billy knew a secret that the rest of the world hadn't figured out yet. Cool, I'll check on him before I go to bed, Topher said. Thank you, sweetheart, Shelley said, but she lingered in the doorway. Anything else? He asked. There definitely was. Shelley had that look in her eye that told Topher that something serious needed to get off her chest. She had a seat on his bed so that they could talk. I felt so guilty I haven't had a chance to thank you, Shelley said. What you're doing for your brother, what you're doing for our family, well, it's something that should never have been asked of you. Mom, you gotta stop feeling bad about it, Topher said. If I went away to school, you couldn't juggle Billy and work all on your own. Dad's teaching in Seattle gig is only gonna last 2 more years. That gives me plenty of time to get my GE degree here and transfer to someplace fancier when he gets back. It'll be a lot cheaper for me in the long run anyway. Just because it makes sense doesn't make it right, Shelley said, and glanced up at his valedictorian medal. You worked so hard in school, and I never wanted your brother to set you back or give you a reason to resent him later on. Although a good portion of Billy's care did fall on Topher's shoulders, he never resented his brother. Having a sibling with special needs was exhausting and stressful in ways that people could really never understand without experiencing it themselves. But the only resentment that Topher ever felt was towards people who pretended to know what it was like, or worse, people who didn't even try. In many ways, Topher had more reasons to be thankful for his brother. Living with someone who had actual struggles and genuine limitations gave Topher a unique perspective on his own life. Topher was an overachiever and a perfectionist because in his mind, there was no reason that he couldn't be. His daily inconveniences seemed so minor in comparison to his brother's, and knowing that his brother would become his sole responsibility one day when his parents were gone, Topher never gave himself the option of failing. Billy wasn't keeping Topher from success. He was the key to Topher's success. Mom, I would never blame Billy for this, Topher said. This is my decision and no one else's. And it's not a setback, it's just a detour. MIT isn't going anywhere. Shelley smiled, but the guilt never left her eyes. I don't know what I did to deserve a son like you, she said. Now, speaking of detours, is everything set for your trip tomorrow? Yeah, I think so, Topher said. Thanks again for letting us use your car and taking the time off of work so that I could go. It's really the least I could do, Shelley said and checked her watch. Okay, I better get going so I'm not late. The drunks and the stoners aren't going to check themselves in. I'll stop at the gas station on my way home so you can start your day with a full tank. She kissed her son on the forehead and left for work. Topher would have been lying to himself if he said he was happy about the decision to stay home for college. Still, he knew the right decision wasn't always the easy one. That was a lesson that Dr. Bumfuzzle had taught him on one of the early episodes of WizKids. He felt pathetic for thinking it, but even at 18, Topher held the fictional doctor in as much regard as he had when he was a child. Cash Carter's character had always been a source of strength and inspiration during rough times. To this day, whenever he faced a challenge, Topher asked himself, what would Dr. Bumfuzzle do? And the answer would present itself. Even though the character didn't exist, Topher was often inclined to express his gratitude for the positive influence. Whenever the spirit moved him, he would venture to cashcarter.com and write the actor a thank you letter. It was either that or have a conversation with the poster in his bedroom. Dear Mr. Carter, it's Topher Collins again from Downers Grove, Illinois. I know I've said this to you 1,000 times, but once again I feel the need to thank you for all of your work on the show. I understand that as an actor you have very little control over the things that your character does, but the way that you've portrayed him over the years has had such a profound impact on me and my friends. He's our hero, and we have you to thank for that. Watching WizKids is what brought us together, and watching the show is what's going to keep us together. We recently graduated high school and we're splitting up soon to attend different colleges. I don't know how that we would stay connected if it weren't for our Wednesday night viewing parties. I'm sure it isn't easy being famous or working on the same show for so long, but please know that you have fans that couldn't be more grateful for everything that you do. I don't want to take any more of your time, but in case I get busy with school and don't have a chance to write you again, it's really been a pleasure watching you and a privilege growing up with you. Sincerely, Topher Collins, Downers Grove, Illinois. P.S. We leave tomorrow for our cross-country road trip. If you're free, we'd love for you to join us. LOL. Topher figured that was enough vulnerability for one letter, and he sent it in. Just like all the letters he had sent Cash Carter over the years, he was sure it would get lost amongst the thousands that the actor received daily. Regardless, it felt nice to pay his respects. Topher went downstairs to check on his brother and found Billy sound asleep in his favorite Captain America pajamas. He slept so peacefully it made Topher tired just looking at him. With a huge day ahead of him, Topher got a glass of water from the kitchen and climbed back up the stairs to his room and put himself to bed. When Topher returned to his bedroom, the first thing that caught his eye was a notification on his computer screen. He had never seen it before. It was an alert from cashcarter.com letting him know that his letter had been received and the actor had actually replied. Topher's heart began palpitating. His heart began palpitating and almost dropped into his stomach. Was this real life? He read the notification over again, but it never changed. Holy shit, this was real life. He dashed to his desk at lightning speed and tripped over his chair and crawled on his knees to the edge of the desk. He clicked the link on the notification and the actor's response loaded. With 2 words, Topher Collins' life would never be the same. What time? Is he going to join them on the road trip? That would be amazing. That would be hilarious. So cute. I love it. I hope Cash joins them on the road trip. Amazing. Amazing. He will learn a lot. He sure will. That's amazing. I'm gonna go because we are gonna run over to the farmer's market and have breakfast and all that, but I will be back on shortly. I also love his writing. Unfortunately, it might ruin maybe, it just might, Becca, just might. I will be back on, me too, Nikki. I will be back on in the early afternoon Pacific time to pull the grab bag pulls. So we'll do as many of those as we possibly can, just bang them all out. So if you are someone who has one of those and you chose live, please feel free to join us at that time. If you can't make today, I totally understand. We will do it again on Monday. If you wanted one but you didn't get one, there are still some of the grab bags available, and that is pretty much the whole kit and caboodle. It's a fun live. Even if you don't have one, it's super fun to join and just watch the things. It's cute and everyone gets to like cheer for everybody, and it's a very like warm, loving environment. So feel free to join us in a little bit. Becca, there are too many clear slimes for you to risk it. I wouldn't risk it. Did I get saved? I don't know what that means, Roxy. Did I get saved? From what? I'm not sure what that means. So excited to get my newbie set. Yes, those will all go out by Monday. All orders that were placed last night, unless they are grab bags, are definitely going to go out. A saved set. I'm not sure what you're talking about, Roxy. I'm sorry. If you DM'd me about something, I always ask that you keep it in DMs because it's impossible for me to remember everybody's request outside of DMs. So if you have a request, definitely always respond in the DMs. Yeah, everything should be kept in those DMs. Okay, cool. I'll see you all later.